I think. I think. I am. It took a moment. It was buffering. Everything's buffering, but it's like -17 outside right now. So it's really, really, well, I won't say it's really cold. It's cold. It's cold, but I am bundled up. So, and where I work, I have to wear this red shirt, which I hate. And so, anyways, I'm not wearing it till I have to. And right now, I just want to be warm and snuggly. So, inside my house, I have my coffee. Have coffee. So, coffee is here. And yeah, so it's warm in here, snuggly in here. And as I look at the astrology, well, it's a little bit crazy. It's a little bit crazy out there. Um, so let's take a look at the astrology right now. So we do have the moon in Cancer, and then the sun is coming to the end of Sag. And now, when the sun eventually, this in the next few days, by the end of the week, the sun will be in Capricorn. This is going to be the first time in 16 years the sun has not been in Capricorn. So it's going to feel weird because it's not like someone's always been there. It's like entering a house that you know that somebody's there, like they've always been there. They've been there for the last 16 years. Then all of a sudden, they're not. So it's going to feel weird. It's going to feel out of so it's going to feel like, what's different here? You know, what should be here and it's not. Then the Mercury retrograde. The Mercury retrograde, and I love it. There's only a few astrologers that are actually talking about this Mercury retrograde. They're acting as if it's like normal. No, this Mercury retrograde is not normal. This Mercury retrograde is activating craziness. It's activating people's, not being able to sleep. It's also because it is in Leo, it's activating a lot of intensity when it comes to fire. But what it also is, and some of the things that I sort of got, when I was just sort of meditating on Mercury today, was people turning away from their own insight, their own self. And I'm going to say hi to everybody because you guys are so wonderful. So hello to everybody. Someone asked if I'm doing a reading today. Whew, now I'm getting all hot and bothered. Not doing personal readings on online right here. If you have a general question, just a general question, so much a personal one, yes, I will answer general questions, but not personal in-depth questions. If you want a reading, definitely you can book in with me. So this is where Mars is struggling to connect with one's truth and identity. It's Leo. Leo is about identity, right? It is about, you know I am here I am the center of attention. I am the center of the world because it's the sun, right? It's ruled by the sun. And now the sun coming near the end of Sag and going into Capricorn, it's coming into a time of trying to find that identity, trying to look at, well, what's missing? What's missing in my life? Where's my connection? And trying to find a connection and what that connection is. And this is where people can really struggle, right? Because it is not to do with a connection with, and as I wrote, it's not to do with a connection with a political party or who's in charge, who's not in charge. It is an internal one. It is your light. How am I connecting with that internal light within me and trying to grasp, as there is an opposition to Pluto, and Pluto's in Aquarius. And Pluto in Aquarius is the I know. Well, you should know. Here comes Pluto in Aquarius. Well, you should know that. You should know your connection, right? And this is where you can get yourself lost. This is where people can go down crazy um rabbit holes on trying to find, a truth, or they try to find that identity and feeling that their identity is, what they do, or their worth, what's in their bank account. Now, looking at people's bank account and looking at what's going on. I mean, you can just, I mean, everything's inflated. I mean, gold, silver's inflated. That's going up. The craziness that's happening with the crypto. And I did mention a few years ago, crypto's going. And I had a few people that are coming to me, no, I'm investing, you don't know anything. You're not a financial investor, which is true. I'm not. But I said, I'm just going by the astrology and just showing you that there's something crazy. Because I don't understand cryptocurrency. I don't understand everything that goes on with it. But I said, there's something there that's going to happen that's going to make things go funky or crazy. It just doesn't make sense. But I know it's not a trustworthy. It's not trustworthy. It's not, because for some reason it doesn't have the tangibility to it, right? And right now, even with people who have it in on their USB locked whatever, it's being hacked. People go in and it looks, there's an illusion. That's the whole thing. It's like when you look at your bank account, if you can't hold it, it's not really there. It's just a number on a page, right? It's just a number. You can't hold it. If you can't hold it, like if it's like, especially with the tangibility when it comes to a currency, to the current, um, it's just flowing. It's just going. It's just gone. Right? And that's what's happening. So the Bitcoin thing is really coming in, and everything is just going to get, and I don't have an explanation to this, but everything's just going to get weirder, right? Everything is just going to get a little bit funkier. And we're coming into a year, and I'm going to keep on stressing this to everybody. We're coming to a year of crazy, of more weirdness, of more craziness when it comes to the economy. We're entering into a thing of stagflation, where the economy is not going to be growing, right? So there's the stagflation that's going to be happening. Things about secret deals that are being made that you may not be able to see, and that could be even within your personal life and in the world around you, so in things that are around you. So there's that's happening. So that struggle, I'm going to say that struggle is real, especially with Mars being in retrograde. He loves to be in Leo because he wants to shine. He wants to be the one with the shiny armor going out there and showing to the world. He wants to be that one. And the other thing is that, and this is why I love the Leo King, because he does these deep dive and fucking investigations about it being, a lot of the aspects that are happening haven't been around since 1886 BC, which is the 12th dynasty of Egypt. Now, of course, then I had to go, well, what was going on in the 12th dynasty of Egypt, and the pyramids that were being built back then, and what was happening at that time? And it was sort of between the 12th and the 14th was the whole thing of Exodus. So you can, if you are biblical, you can go to the Exodus and Deuteronomy. I can't even say the word, but in those times of those of trials. And there was also, during that time, the pharaoh or the king at that time moved his dynasty to be around farmland. So he set up small cities around farmlands, kind of like 15-minute cities. So people could get there, work there, and it was very feasible for them. And so these types of things you're going to be seeing more and more of in the coming year. You're going to hear more about the 15-minute cities. You're going to be hearing more about that. And that's causing a frustration. It's causing one to look at their connection with truth and identity. And what is that truth and identity? And that comes with Mars, because Mercury, Venus, and Mars are our personal planets. They're the ones of our identity, how we communicate, the things that we have, Venus, how we, indulge in the beauty and the things that we love and the relationships that we have. And Mars is the one of like, how are we going to go out there and get it, right? And then we have the energies of as we go further out to Jupiter and Saturn. And Jupiter and Saturn is the one who is Zeus. I want to expand. I want to make sure. I want to give it to you. So things with Jupiter want to expand. Saturn constraints. Saturn wants to make sure that you have boundaries and you know what you're doing. Make sure you have the proper boundaries, right? So with Saturn and the boundaries that come in are restrictive. Like he wants to make sure that you know you have the order and the organization and the community and everything that you need to build what you want to build. Yet right now, we're also coming up to that buildup of a square with Jupiter and Saturn, which is coming up very quickly this week. Of like, well, I want to expand. I want to give things people. I want to communicate. I want to give you the communication. I want to give you the information. Saturn's coming in and he's in Pisces, is saying, nah, I don't know if I want to give. That's too way out there. That's too way out there. I don't want to give that communication. Right? Because it's in Pisces. Pisces is the ether. Pisces can bring in illusions and bring things in that feel, you know, and Jupiter can inflate those illusions, can inflate things that you want to have or that you want to communicate with. And with Mars wanting to connect and wanting to be, and none of this is really earthy until the sun goes in to Capricorn. Then you get the earth coming in going, whoa, right? And sun's looking around. He's going to be looking around and saying, well, where did everybody go? Where's my connection? What I need, there's usually, in the last few years, there's been a lot of people in my house and there's been a lot of coming and going and things happening. And the sun is entering in there and saying, there's nobody here. How can I connect? How can I build a foundation? What is that foundation that I need to build? What is that connection I need to have? And that's where it comes back down to your spirituality and your connection with your with one's faith, with one's God, with one's, within the universe. What is that connection? And that is going to be the biggest one that people are going to be overcoming. We have a lot of craziness that's happening. Welcome to Canada. And I kind of laughed at yesterday because all the sort of clickbait that was on YouTube. Oh, he's going to resign. Oh, he's going to do this. And I'm just like, no, he's not. His birthday's December 25th. Do you think that he's going to resign before his birthday? No, this guy doesn't give a flying fuck. He's got his stuff in order and whatever he wants to do behind the scenes that we don't even know about. So, and same with the whole thing with Freeland. I knew, like, well, we kind of knew she was going anyways, a few months ago, but it was just they had to do it at a critical point to show you the critical point. And then to say that we're 66.9 trillion billion or trillion dollars in debt. I don't even know the number, but it's crazy. So that, coming out and that's a huge inflation. That's a huge, of everything that has been told, we know has been a lie. So this again, the only truth is the truth with your divine and your spirituality. Everything else, everything out there, whatever identity that you are trying to identify with is not your truth. It's an illusion. And it's weird because I had a dream of, I had a really weird dream, and, um, one of one of my girls was in it. One of my clients was a good client was in it, and we were sitting there talking about the Journey Club, and doing the Journey Club, and then this other person came in, "Well, why do you wanna do the Journey Club? What's so great about the Journey Club?" And I said, "It's about having a reconnection with oneself, having a connection with one's truth and identifying with that truth and owning it." She goes, "Well, why is that a good thing?" I said, "Well, when you own 100% of your reality, when you know this is yours, then you can actually make choices. You're not just fleeting in the wind. You're not just going in the wind." And the one person who's my client sent me a video, and I was watching this video, and it was really weird video, and it had this little kitten, and this little kitten turned around, and it was almost like it came through the video and gave me a big hug, like it kissed the video. It was just weird. And then I couldn't find it. It was like it was deleted. It was gone. And it was just almost where it's like this is sort of like trying to show you that there's something new on the horizon. So trust in that newness that you're receiving from your guides, from your spirit. And it may feel chaotic, and it's going to feel rough. It's going to feel rough. And it's going to feel like, oh, this is way too much for me to handle. But it wants you to have that truth within inside yourself. It wants you to have that realization that, yeah, there's something more powerful than me out there, and I'm going to be okay in all of this nuttiness, in all this nuttiness, you know? And this is where you're going to be searching, and a lot of people are going to be searching and going back to some form of spirituality. They're going to be going back to some form of, okay, how can I find, whether that's generational healing and going through some generational healing, whether that is Akashic records and going through your Akashic records and doing healings through your Akashic records, whether that is coming in and taking the Journey Club and going through an 8-week, a weekly program with me and learning the Journey Club and just stepping back into that identity of what are my intentions, right? How am I viewing this world? I mean, the world that is crazy and um, upsetting in many ways. I mean, I'm sending out blessings to, the crazy shooting in the United States again. I thought that was kind of weird because as soon as I hear things about the shootings, anyways, weird, I just different scenarios go through my head. Of it, and it's just another form of, I don't know if it's the government trying to control or trying to take guns away from people, because that's trying to take away your power in a different way. So it's an interesting format and a way to look at it. But today, it's, our soul is a connection of a dance. The dance is not, we don't think the dance is perfect, because we might fall, we might trip, we might get hurt or injured, or something else might happen during this dance. But every step within this dance is perfect. It is within the divine order. And this divine order that's coming in is getting us to step closer and closer to our divine, closer and closer to that divinity that is within us. And this Mars retrograde is going to throw some curveballs in order to awaken us even more. And with Pluto in Aquarius, yeah, it's going to get crazier. And I'll give you some glimmers of hope that this craziness that's coming in. I mean, I astrology gets boring in 2028. So there you go. So by 2028, astrology is boring. So there you go. So, it just starts the next year is going to be one of the craziest years. And um just a lot of the upset, but it's getting us to get to a place where we are able to reconnect with ourselves and with those around us. So there you go. All in a little nutshell for you all. So the next new moon is in Capricorn, and it will be on December 31st. So people will be receiving their new moon readings just after Christmas. And within that new moon readings, it will be around, yeah. I should have a sort of an outline for your sign on what sort of things to look out for in 2025 for you. So for those who have registered for the readings and stuff, just an FYI to let you know that. Now, one thing I do wanna look up, just 1 second. I don't really have my full schedule, but, um, hang on, bear with me. Bear with me, everybody, because oh, it's funny because I kept saying January 6th. So January 6th, uh, oh, okay, hold on. I got a card upside down in here, and it keeps coming up, so I'll pull that out. On January 6th, so if I'm off on January 6th or January could be January 8th or 11th. Anyways, the week of January 6th, I will be starting to let you know about vision doing a vision board. So if you are interested in doing the vision board, let me know. Some of you may have done the vision board from last year. So you might have, if you did it last year with me, you might have the booklet already. So you will get that booklet. There's a big, huge booklet, and I refer to it. I worked really hard on that booklet. So there's that booklet. I also have a workbook, an astrology workbook um, for 2025, and I just have to finish the first page of it, the title page. Like, um, I have to do that, and then it's ready to go, and I'll come up and I'll be posting a lot of that. So if you're interested, let me know. And I'll have pricing and everything up for all of that. Vision board is a 1 day thing, and I think it's going to be absolutely I really it might be on a Sunday if I'm off on a Sunday. You should probably not. But anyways, it should be a really good connection, because I feel connecting with 2025 and really allowing yourself to put somewhat of a foundation down on that year is really important. And it's going to be very helpful in getting you to help you with directions and formulating a direction on where you want to go to. So the card that was flying out on me, and then I tried to turn it over and then it just kept turning around, is the death card. So situations are ending. And the death card brings in change. It is a card of change. It is a card that holds people to accountability. It holds people to a place where there is a death and a transformation, and this is where you might be resisting something. You're resisting the change that is coming forward. Whether that you're resisting or don't want to acknowledge, say, a job is ending, or that something in your life, you have to make these changes, but you're resisting it in some way. So this is like, now might be a good time to look ahead with optimism and strength, so that because you're on the right path, it's just you might be questioning how this path is going to look. Yeah, because the opportunities will appear, but the opportunities are just a start. They're just a flicker. They're just showing you like there's something new that's going to start for you. But you're not going to get the full answers. The full answers are not going to be there for you, right? Because the death card is Scorpio. Scorpio owns the death card. And with Scorpio owning the death card, that means that we want to take you to a place where you don't want to go. We want to take you to a depth that you don't want to go. It is ruled by Pluto. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto and Mars. And Pluto's just rediscovering the parts. He hasn't been in Aquarius full time for over 250 years. So re-identifying with oneself. And with Mars, being retrograde, wanting to have that connection of oneself, but having to connect with a spiritual self. Now, the thing about Aquarius aren't warm and fuzzy. Warm and fuzzy is Leo. Leo's like, here I am. I'm the heart. Come on in. They're going to totally different personality, right? They're the ones who will like, yeah, let's just go and do this. Let's go, they'll put on the music and they'll want you to dance. And Aquarius is like, hang on. I'm just not going to go and dance and make a fool out of myself. I am going to perfect the dance before I go out there and make sure that the dance is good. So in comes the Aquarian. The Aquarians are the I knows. They want to perfect. So there's an art here that's coming in where you are might wanting to perfect something, might want to make sure that all the little details are in place. Yeah, it's like they're the ones that will outshine the others. That's what the Aquarius will do. The Aquarius will come in and say, "Oh, we're dressing up like how?" And then they will dress up, but theirs will be prettier or more, um just something more. There's just something, or they'll have a little bit more of a sparkle, where the Leo will say, "We're dressing how? Yeah, let's do this." And then he could just, or she could make it like a big show, or come in and say and make it like it's a fire. So make it with passion and bring the passion and fun. Where Aquarius is like, that's a little bit too much for me. So it's coming in, so it's finiting these things at this time, and with it comes the Emperor. That means that you got to do it. You got to take the challenge. The Emperor comes in to say, you got to take the challenge on this newness. You got to make it your own. And that's what the Emperor does. The Emperor makes it his own. He doesn't make it somebody else's. He doesn't take it, he doesn't utilize it because somebody says, oh, you were born into this, this is yours. The Emperor is the one who strategizes and plans and says, these are the steps I need to do in order to make these creations because things are changing. How am I adapting to these changes? How am I coming in to make these newness? Because this is new opportunities. This is, it's a time to think, and in order to get things done. It's, with the Aquarian energy, I got to think about this. I'm going to get things done. How am I going to get things done? Who am I connecting with? What are my connections in order to get the things I need done? Mm. Very powerful day. Very powerful day. And my heart goes out to people who are struggling. My heart goes out to those who may not feel um that they have things in aligned, or that they feel like things are a wee bit out of sorts for them. But I want to send out so much love to so many people because I know there's a lot of people out there who are really struggling this year, may not want to say it. Food banks are going through the roof with trying to do donations and get people fed. And same with hampers. There's more hampers being asked for through the Salvation Army and families who have signed up for the different hampers. And so if you're able to in any way to give to, let's say, the Salvation Army, and you want to help with, I want to help to buy a turkey, or I want to help to do that. Or if you know of, because sometimes some families don't even register, if you know of a family who needs help, or it doesn't even have, it could be just a couple who needs help, it could be a single mom who needs help, or a student who might be struggling at this time, who can't make it home for Christmas or something. um, Maybe make a package for them. It doesn't have to be anything big, but make something for them, create something for them. And that's just, that energy, that frequency goes a long way. And that's what's going to be a big build for 2025, because we are going to be needing one another in this next year, um, to build the communities that need to be built and the connections that need to be had. So, and that's going to be a huge one because just an FYI, people aren't going to have money to spend next year. So when it comes to um, different things that people are wanting to do, people are going to be very frugal, but they're also going to say, okay, if we are going on this vacation, or we're going on this trip, or we're going to be doing whatever, um, it's going to be like, okay, we're going to make sure like they're either going to save for it a lot more. It's not going to be something willy-nilly where people say, oh, let's go to Vegas or let's go to Mexico. These are going to be very strategized and planned out trips coming up. So sending you guys so much love. I'm going to shut up. I got to get ready. Got to go to work, and sending you guys out so much love. So may the Lord and Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you. Don't worry about the drones. Don't worry about Trudeau. Everything's going to work out the way it needs to work out. So have a blessed one. So bye-bye.